Hello, everybody, and welcome. I am multitasking here, so I'm actually using this as a podcast episode. So if you're listening to the podcast, welcome to the Childcare Business Coach. My name is Evelyn Knight. I hope that you guys are having a good day. I know it's hard for us to have great days right now. So again, if you're just joining, my name is Evelyn Knight. I am the owner of Childcare Business Professionals, and I am multitasking and recording my podcast episode as I do this today. I just really spent some time last night researching. I keep getting a lot of questions about staff and how to help keep staff motivated through this and how to just keep them from being scared right now. And so I really looked into it and just came up with an outline this time. So, and feel free to say hi as you hop on. And again, if you're listening on the podcast, this was recorded through a live Facebook that I was doing. So it's going to be a little bit different than my normal podcast episode at this time. But I do have something in store for you guys where I just really researched, and I asked some of my staff members because my staff has really been pretty confident through all of this, and they I even actually called for a quick hallway staff meeting today because I just was thinking with some of the messages I'm getting and just some of the people reaching out to me and the problems they have with staff. I went to my staff and asked them, like, why am I not having this issue with you guys? Hi, Sherry. Like, what is it that is different? Why isn't my staff showing the fear, or they don't want to work? And I mean, they are just really uniting and coming together. And after just talking to some of my staff and kind of just looking into things, I did come up with some things for you guys. And I think I pretty much have a good idea of what is going on. And one of the things I really think, from just talking to some other employers too, some other owners, I reached out to like 3 other owners and asked them and just kind of gauge what is the difference between the owners that are really struggling and directors with staff engagement and the ones that aren't. And it really just came down to, how are you presenting yourself right now? Are you being the leader? Are you being a leader, first of all? We really, really need to focus on being leaders right now. And, you know, I know one of the owners I spoke to said, I didn't sign up for this. But yeah, we kind of did. The minute we chose to be a business owner, we did choose to lead. We chose to lead a staff. And whether or not we want it to be under the circumstances, we don't have a choice. I mean, I know none of us chose to be here right now. We did not choose to do this under these circumstances, but we did choose to lead. So since we made that choice, we have to step up and be the leader that our staff can follow right now. That is just what we have to do. And so we have to be confident. So I basically have a few different points that I came up with on what is the difference between, and just from talking to some other owners too, like where is the difference? Why are some owners getting pushback and others aren't? And what is it to be a leader, right? What does it, that the different leaders, what are they doing that are bringing their staff that confidence, that's bringing them that loyalty to a certain extent? And I think it's really comes down to a few different things. And the first one is that you have to have a plan. Right now, everybody feels really chaotic. Everyone feels uncertain. And we as humans need to have control. We need to feel like we're in control and we have control of the situation. And right now, there is no control. None of us have control. But we can give our staff a sense of control. We can empower them and give them little bits of power to make them feel like they can have control. And if you guys look at what's going on with the hoarding and with people being so scared, that's just a way that people grasp for control. It's just a way that they're trying to get, it's what they're doing to get control over the situation. So how can we help our staff feel like they have some control? And as leaders, we absolutely have to do that. And it's our responsibility to help them feel like they're in control, which means that we must take command of the situation. We cannot control it, but we can command it. And when you have a good comprehensive plan, you will be able to do this. So what we need to do is have a thorough plan. And I have posted for you guys on my Facebook page, for those of you listening on the podcast, an outline that will help you start on creating a plan. My members, you guys have my entire plan. You can, and I know I've talked to a couple of you and you've taken my plan and turned it into your own, and that's really been helpful. If that's something you're interested in, I have opened up my membership again, where it was closed off, but because of what's going on right now, I have opened it and I am taking new members on just so we can work on this together. And just on that too, with our membership, we do work together every Tuesday and every Thursday via Zoom, so my members can actually interact with me and ask, questions, and we can talk it out. And it's amazing. It's a great group of some really strong and smart women, and it's really cool to have that think tank and just to have them to talk to, and for us to really just get together and talk this out and get some great solutions. So anyway, with the plan, take that template that I gave you guys. We have the weekend, right? Look at the template and create a plan for your center. Use that as your steps. But I think that was really what my staff, and when I asked my staff straight up, what is it? That's the response I got. Like, well, we know what we're doing. You've given us guidelines. We know what we're doing. We know to come in every day. You're doing what we need for you to do to keep us safe. We feel safe because we have these guidelines. So just to kind of go over it a little bit, I mean, if you guys looked at it, it's pretty, it's just like the stuff that we're supposed to do anyway, right? Except for I took it up a notch. For my plans, I took the normal things that we're supposed to do every day anyway when it comes to sanitation, and I basically doubled it. And I have some different plans in place. Like, for example, right now, we are not allowing parents into our classrooms, so we're taking them in at the lobby, and then another staff member walks them back. Does that seem like a big deal? No, but it's something that is making my staff feel safe, and it's making them feel confident. So even though it, honestly, a lot of it, and I do this for myself too, a lot of it is just, we need a sense of security, right? And so if you are in command and your staff knows you have a plan and it makes them feel safe and secure, they're going to be less likely to want to run and hide right now, okay? And it is human nature, you guys, to want to run and hide. But as the leaders of our center, the last thing we can do is run and hide, because the minute we crawl into our shells is the minute our centers will fail. Okay, so you got to just really create a plan. Your staff is looking to you for leadership. They're looking to you to create that plan. So we just need to be the leader that they need. And you guys, that plan needs to be in writing. It really does. It needs to be, even if it is a one-page outline of these are the steps we're going to take. The plan that I ended up creating, of my final plan, which every day I seem to add to it at this point, is 4 pages long. Okay, and this is not something I had in place last week. I did not think that I would be dealing with coronavirus. You know, this is something new that I just put together, and I just sat down and thought, you know, and I've told you guys earlier in the week to do this, where sit down and write everything you're afraid of that's going to happen. Write down what your staff is afraid of. Create a plan around it. That's all I did. That's really all I did. That is how I came up with my plan. And, you know, and every now and then something new would come up, right? I mean, when I first started it, it was maybe 1.5 pages, but as of today, it is 4 pages long. And that's because something else would come up and I would go and write a plan on it. That's why I'm also able to come here with enough confidence to help try and guide you guys through this, because I have a plan, and I wouldn't feel confident enough to be able to come here and talk to you guys had I not done that. So I stress to you how important it is to have that plan in place. So the next thing is to have a clear action plan, just to be prepared. And, or I'm sorry, that was step one. And I'm looking at my notes. Good thing for the podcast, I can delete that, right? I can't delete it on the video, but I can for my podcast. The next thing is to communicate. Always have an open line of communication. I love the laugh. Thank you. So be open and honest with your staff and communicate. My staff has a Facebook page that they all are on and they can go to, and I've talked about this before, and you guys, I'm starting to forget, was it on the podcast, was it on the live videos? But I know if you listen to both, I've talked about it before, having one central place where you communicate, right? And it might be a Slack account. It could, it doesn't have to necessarily be Facebook, but all my staff is on Facebook, so it was easy. So they know, and I'm doing live videos on that Facebook group, just like I'm doing them here. I go on there because my staff needs to see and hear from me, right? And I don't want to go and talk to them individually. It's really hard right now. I cannot do a staff meeting every day right now, but I can jump on Facebook, do a live video, and they can hear from me out of my mouth what we're going to do, what is going on. And I am transparent with them. I am honest and clear. So that is really, really important right now, is communicate with your staff. Let them know what is going on and be honest, you guys. I cannot stress that enough. Being honest, letting them know. You would not believe how much that helps in just their loyalty and their trust in you. I think a lot of times as leaders, we feel like we have to hide who we are, and we feel like we have to hide behind I guess leaders feel like they have to be perfect, but I think it's more important for us to be human. And I think our staff needs to see that we are human too, but we have to be strong. Okay, don't confuse, you've got to be strong and you have to be in command, but it's okay to show them that you're human, right? So I just told my staff before we had a hallway meeting, and I told my staff just now that, I don't know, every morning I wake up and I look at what's going on and I look at the scenarios and I think to myself, okay, what do I need to change today? I don't have everything, all the answers every morning when I wake up, but I sit down and I do create a plan every day. That way I can come in to work and be confident. I can come in with confidence and with courage, right? Before I even get here, I do my mental check, I write out my plan for the day, and I can show up as the confident and courageous boss that they need to see, okay? So mindset is so huge, you guys. If you guys are in a frenzy, if you are just running on overload and you're chaotic in your mind, of course your staff is going to feel that way. It's going to make them feel so insecure. So in order to bring them the security that they're craving right now, you've really got to be in command. So
your mom is calling you. Take the call.
You just need to go in, before you leave your house, get it together. Write out your plan. I don't care if you take a piece of scratch paper or whatever, the back of mail, but write out a plan so that by the time you get to your center, you're in command and in control. I mean, we're all scared right now, you guys. And but the difference is that there's people looking to you as leaders. There's people looking to us for guidance. So we need to honor that and make sure that we are in control. And I'm sorry, my computer froze, and since I'm recording this, to unfreeze it so it doesn't stop recording. Oh, there we go. Let me see. I hope it's been recording. Okay, so communicating clearly, openly, and honestly is a huge thing. The other thing too is that you have to be positive. We do have to keep up a positive front right now. I know it's so difficult for us too, because we get scared, right? But again, that's why at home, get it all out before you get to your center. Just get it out. I don't care if you get it out on your drive to work, but you got to get it out. So by the time you get to your center, you're positive, you're confident. You can't go in telling your staff you're going to shut down, you guys aren't going to make it. They need to see a confident boss. Otherwise, they are going to want to run and hide. They are not going to want to weather this storm. They're going to start, just wanting to jump ship because they're scared. If you're scared, they're going to be scared. So, and look, don't confuse the fear. Like, we all have this fear right now. That's different. Okay. We all have, and that's okay. But you've got to make sure that you don't let the fear overpower you and that you're not letting the fear control you at all. Okay. I mean, I told my staff earlier today, it does scare me. My husband's on dialysis. I have to go home to him every day and make sure I keep him safe. And, my family. So yes, that scares me too. But I'm not going to let the fear control me. And I'm not going to let it dictate my life. Right. So I still have to be in command. Am I afraid for my business? No, because I know I will do what it takes to make it work. I know that when it comes to that, I will not let anything stop me, and I've proven it to them in the past. So I think that also, and I told them that, like, does the health concern? Yes, absolutely. That does, especially with a husband on dialysis, that really does. But for my business, I'm not scared because I know I'm going to do what I need to do. That's what they need to hear right now. They need to hear that I know I'm going to do what I need to do. They don't need someone who is like, I don't know if we're going to be here in a month, because then they're scared. They don't know. If you don't know if you're going to be there, then they don't know if they're going to have a job. So just think of that. Don't ignore the issues. Come out and talk about it. You've got to be upfront with it. You've got to talk about it. So don't ignore it. If they are uneasy, talk to them about it and show compassion and show grace. I know that it's so easy for us in management to just get frustrated because we deal with so much all the time. And this just seems like one of those things again, right? But this time it is different. It is different. And we need to show them grace, and we need to honor their fear and help them think about it. A lot of times we're just stuck in our minds and we just need a different perspective. I mean, I have so many of you guys watching these videos every single day, right? I have so many of you guys messaging me right now. Why are you guys watching these videos and messaging me? Think about it. I'm helping to change your mindset, right? I'm going in and giving you guys a different perspective. That's all, really, when it comes down to it. You guys can take exactly the things I'm telling you. Take it back to your staff and tell them. Take it to them, and the positive energy I'm bringing to you, I don't care if you guys tell them the same things I'm telling them or telling you. Take it back to your staff and tell them the same things. Let's see. Alana says, and also we know that you will do everything. Yes, Alana is one of my employees. She's my assistant director, and she says that they know that I will do everything in my power to make sure they have a job. They know this. Alana has weathered a lot of storms with me. She's been through a lot with me, and she has seen me fight already. So she knows that I will fight to make sure my staff has a job. And I think also Alana knows that my staff is my priority. I will do whatever to take care of them. So now's a good time for you guys to get perspective on that. You guys, before all this happened, I'm always hearing about employee retention. Now is the time to really prove to your staff that you are someone they want to stick with. You guys have amazing opportunities right now. You've got such an opportunity right now to prove to your staff that you are the leader that they want to stick with for years. And this is when it's your time to shine in that area. So be that leader that they want to stick with. Show them compassion, show them grace, and show them that you're going to fight for them. And I guarantee you, you will have a loyal following after this. You guys know I've got amazing employee retention, and that's why my staff has seen me fight for them. They know that I truly, honestly care about them, and I will put them and their needs first, and I will fight to make sure that they have a job when all this is done. So I don't know. I think that has a lot to do with the why I'm not getting any pushback at all. But yeah, what I'm really saying is you want to get out in front of the fear. Sorry guys about the doorbell, but you want to get out in front of the fear and really just tackle it head on. Just talk to them about it. What are you afraid of? Why are you afraid? What can we do to make you feel better? Do you need to order more gloves for your center? Maybe you need to get some face masks. And I know you guys, the news is talking about the shortage of face masks, but keep in mind that it's the type of face masks that are in shortage right now. My sister is a nurse at a hospital. I asked her about this, and the type of face mask that can last like several hours that they need at the hospitals, the normal everyday face masks that we can buy on Amazon or Rundown, those are out there. It's the like heavy duty ones that the nurses and doctors need. So if that makes your staff feel better, and I think I have my staff, look at this right on my desk, I have a box of face masks that my staff can have if they want. I mean, those are the kind of things that make them feel more secure. I upped my order on gloves. I upped everything, bleach, whatever I could. Before we even went into lockdown weeks ago, when the writing was on the wall, one of the first things I thought about was my staff is going to start feeling insecure. I need to do what I need to do to make them feel safe, right? And that's how you guys have got to think if you want your staff to be loyal and ready to go into battle with you. You got to put them first and think about them. And this is a really good future lesson for you. So you guys, if you haven't been thinking about that in this terms, after this storm has passed, hopefully you'll be able to transform into that leader, because that really is the key to employee retention. So all of you guys who've messaged me and all of the different information I've got of how do you retain your employees? How is it that I start people at minimum wage, yet they stay with me for 10, 11 years, right? It's because I really honestly care and I show it. I love my staff and they know it. And I do plan a month ago to get them face masks. And I've planned, just to make sure. It was the first thing I thought about when this all came out from a business perspective was, what do I need to do to make my staff feel safe and secure? And you guys can still do that. It's not too late. It might take a little bit longer, but tell your staff, hey guys, I ordered you this and I ordered you that. We're just waiting for it to get here. Or I've tried to find out, this information. When it comes to sanitation, even just put it in writing that we are going to sanitize this many more times a day, right? Those are the kind of things that are going to make your staff feel like you're in command, you care, and that they have some control. These procedures and the plan that you create will make your staff feel like they have some control over what's happening. Because bottom line, you guys, in our field, we're always faced with things like this, right? This is nothing new. Have we dealt with coronavirus? No. But we deal with whooping cough not too long ago. We've had whooping cough. We see my center had an outbreak of chickenpox. There's vaccines, right? But the children are not fully vaccinated until they're 4 years old. How many of us deal with hand, foot, and mouth? How many of us have seen children get pneumonia, right? I had a child quite a few years ago who had meningitis. I mean, think about the things we deal with. This isn't anything new. And that's something you have to make sure your staff understands. If we are following the guidelines that our lawmakers have already put in to keep us protected and safe, we're already ahead of it, you guys. And think about, why are they not closing childcare, but they're closing the K through 12 system? I hear a lot of owners saying oh, we're expendable and being negative. But to be honest with you guys, the reason is because we are so ahead of the game. Our standards in preschool are so much higher than they are for the K through 12 world, that we are safer because we're already putting these things into place. We already have these sanitation procedures down, right? We already know all the things. This is how we do things in the preschool world. The K through 12 system isn't quite, they're not held to the standards that we're held to. So we're more prepared than they are. And that is really why we can stay open and they can't, because we have the tools, we've already have the knowledge, and we're already doing this stuff. So that is another, big deal. You need to be confident. That's another point. As a leader, you need to show confidence. And I will be the first to admit, sometimes that's hard. There's evenings where I'm cooking dinner right now, and I just kind of ask myself, are you really as confident as you're, but yeah, I am. But you need to be. And I wasn't always like this. I mean, Alana's on here. Kristen, I don't know if you're still on here. I saw you a little bit ago, but they can tell you I was not always this confident leader that I am today. But I just realized I have to be, because people are relying on me to be. And if you give yourself some tough love and you tell yourself, okay, I'm scared, but I am going to suck it up and go do it anyway, you guys, you can do it. You can do it. It's really on it's your self-talk. That's really what it comes down to. It is that self-talk that really will get you there. So just keep that in mind. You've got to be confident. You have to be positive. You guys, I cannot stress that enough. And be an inspiration. Be an inspiration to your staff. Be someone that they want to follow. I was actually really touched, because that was one of the things one of my employees said to me today, is that when I asked this, somebody came to me after I had my hallway meeting, because I asked them, I said, why, you guys, I'm hearing from so many different owners around the country that their staff doesn't want to work and they're scared to work and they're upset because they're staying open. Why are you guys not scared? Why are you wanting to be here? Why am I not getting this pushback? And one of them came to me afterwards and says, well, you're inspirational every day and you're positive about it. I was like, wow, that was pretty sweet. And I was a little surprised, but it's kind of the same thing again. I'm going to come back to, why do you guys watch these videos every day? Why am I getting so many messages on my inbox, right? All the things I'm doing for you guys here on Facebook Live, you guys can do for your staff. Take my words and bring it to them. Just be that inspirational leader that they need. And make sure they have hope. Make sure that they know they're going to have a job after this. Make sure that they know this is going to pass, and point that out to them. Help them get out of their mindset, the same mindset, that you see all over social media right now, just the doom and gloom, and help them focus on the fact that this is temporary. This will pass just like everything else, and think of the other things we've been through. We've been through 9/11, we've been through so much, and it's passed always, right? And the stock market crashed, during the Great Depression, and our grandparents, great grandparents went through it. They made it. We all will make it through this. It's temporary. A year from now, it'll all be in the past. And hopefully you guys did, or you will do, the exercise I gave you guys yesterday to write a letter to yourself in the future, and maybe a year from now, just thanking yourself for the things that you are going to do. And write it as, thank you so much for being courageous. Thank you so much for not giving up. Thank you for fighting, and thank you for being the leader that you need to be. So I encourage you guys, if you haven't done it yet, make sure you do that. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. Today I've been really behind, so I know there's a few questions I haven't answered yet. I'm just running kind of behind today. I've had so much on my plate. I promised my family that I would take at least one day off this weekend. So I've got to, and when I'm not at my center, I'm working this business as a business coach. So I promised them I would take a day off. So I've been trying to get as much done as I can today, so I can take a day off. So if I am behind, I know I have some messages and that I have not answered yet, but I will get to them, I promise you guys. So if you guys don't have any questions or anything for me right now, I'm going to sign off, and I hope you guys go take care of yourself this weekend. Do something. Take a car ride. Go for a hike. Go for a walk. Do something nice for yourself, even if it's giving yourself a manicure or something. I know most of us are stuck, so it's going to be a little bit harder for us to, spoil ourselves or but do something nice for yourself just to decompress. Stay off the news. It's not going to serve you. Just try and stay off social media. Put time limits. I get that it's hard to stay off the news, but limit yourself maybe to 1 hour a day. Just maybe the nightly news or something, and limit your social media exposure, because right now it is all just overwhelming. And the other thing too is try not to buffer. Be aware of the traps we fall into when we buffer, which are things like overeating, overspending, drinking too much, because those are things that will lead to regret later. So to help keep the stress level down, try to minimize that stuff. So I'm going to sign off now. I hope you guys all have a wonderful weekend, and I will probably pop on here sometime just really quick on the weekend just to check in with everybody. Bye, everybody.